All right, good evening and welcome. My name is CareMatch and this is Dr. Jane Fraser, and we will be talking about a new group called Pueblo Makes. The mission of Pueblo Makes is the network of people who support Pueblo makers. The key word is network. It conveys that we are sharing information and working together. The group is not designed for makers themselves, rather it is designed to help the people who help makers. So in Pueblo, we invent things, we design things, we engineer things, we test things, we make things better than anywhere in the world. Did you know that we were once home to an automobile manufacturer? Yes, that's right. We once built steam cars and trucks. Not that many, mind you, but the factory still stands near 29th Street and the railroad crossing. The father of Silicon Valley, yes, Silicon flipping Valley, David Packard was born and raised here before leaving for Stanford. More on the brain drain later in the slides. So Pueblo's well known for its very hardworking and creative farmers. And thanks to continual improvements in a chili pepper by a local ag researcher, Mike Bartolo, it's about to get even more well known. Bartolo worked on developing the Pueblo chili known as the Moscow, named after his uncle Harry Moscow, who farmed on St. Charles Mesa and grew green chilies from the Mirasol pepper, the first grown in the area. He continues to develop new varieties, and he's working with local growers and county officials to raise the profile of the Pueblo chili. So here's a picture of the world's largest mural. A lot of you probably didn't know that. The Pueblo Levee project is in the Guinness Book of World Records. The mural is almost 2 miles long and 58 feet tall. Founded in the 1970s, the mural contains contributions of thousands of artists aged 5 to 65. Unfortunately, much of it has been torn down to the recent work down in that area. So I shared with you some stories about how making, creating, inventing is in our DNA here in Pueblo. All right, so next several slides are really about the partners in the Pueblo Makes group. CSU Pueblo Engineering Department produces high-quality engineering graduates each and every semester. They are doing amazing research work and have a great machine shop, 3D printer, makerspace, virtual reality lab, CAD equipment, and a foundry. So here's a precision machine lathe. There's a building literally full of these machines out there. And here's a picture of some 3D printed robots and 3D printer located at CSU Pueblo. They actually have over 13 of these 3D printers. And so, you don't have to be a student really to kind of help participate in using some of their equipment. So, which is great. So Pueblo Community College, their STEM Center is another partner of Pueblo Makes. They have lots of maker resources available as well, including 8 3D printers, Lego robotics, Raspberry Pis, Mechanoid robotic kits, Z-Space 3D technology units, CAD, Tinkercad, SketchUp, and other creative software. There are also great maker resources available here at the Rawlings Library. The makerspace is called the Idea Factory, and there are 3D printers and lots of classes available to help makers. And here on the next slide are some more pictures of people making different things here at the library. So the growing number of makers includes the area STEM schools. This year will be the first year of a STEM fair that includes a maker component. So that's a big deal because in previous years they have not been able to include the maker part of that. So it's going to be from February 19th through the 21st at CSU Pueblo. There will also be opportunities to win scholarships and awards and different things. So this is really where students can develop 21st century skills, which will be critical to the future. Finally, at the Water Tower Place building, the old Alpha Beta plant, a local makers group will have space in the innovation part of the building. There will be lots of 3D printers, digital fabrication, designing computers, wood and metalworking, welding, machining, and much more there. This will be an ideal place for makers, tinkerers, inventors, really whatever is needed. Anyone who makes something is called a maker, and we collaborate and learn from each other. Classes and workshops we offer makers will offer makers a chance to pass along their knowledge and acquire new skills. Also inside Water Tower Place will be additional innovation space and co-working space. A co-working space that will be powered by creativity. This is where you meet the other like-minded people and makers and who help really your business take off. There will also be different types of collaboration spaces to gather and network. These facilities will give remote workers, freelancers, and startup businesses a fun and productive place to base their operations. This will be perfect for meetups and community partnerships and places to connect with people to make Pueblo a better place to live. This will be a start of the state-of-the-art environment for businesses, entrepreneurs, and creatives to thrive. This is important because currently Pueblo is the only major Colorado city without a coordinated startup ecosystem. The makers community is a big part of what's needed to accelerate local startups and nurture a talented and creative workspace. We need to stop waving goodbye to all of our young people when they get their diplomas. We need to do something to keep the best and brightest here and draw in more bright young people through opportunity. The world has changed and it will continue to change. We need to position Pueblo for a digital economy future. STEM programs and access to maker spaces will create better opportunities for our kids and grandkids. The best new jobs will be created from ideas which haven't been invented yet. The fourth revolution will cause 25 to 40% of existing jobs to disappear. Think of robots and artificial intelligence, automated or self-driving cars and all of that. So startups are the job-creating engine that is currently missing from our local economy. This will diversify our jobs and add jobs to our economy. Startups show consistent job growth even during economic downturns. A small but mighty team will continue building and connecting to make sure our history as makers continues into the future. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. What a great turnout. Gratitude for the library for hosting these amazing events. My name is Michelle Woods, and I am a teacher at the core of my being, and I have a lot to share. My topic this evening is optimal functioning, mind, body, spirit. Okay, so I need your help. Uncross your legs, plant your feet in the floor. Really root down, like you're connecting to the core of the planet. And then if you're seated, that's my own word, I want you to push your sitting bones in the chair. And everybody, when you breathe in, lift up, open your spine, open your heart. Everybody let it out. Relax. Breathe again, fully and deeply. Plant your feet, plant your sitting bones, lift your heart. Let it out. And this I do for prana, so that you can feel and be just a little bit different when you leave here today than when you came. So I also want to plant a seed about optimal functioning. What is optimal functioning and why do we want it? We have the body, the mind, and the spirit. Our body is the physical, molecular makeup. The mind, it's how and what we think. The intelligence of our body and our mind. And I can see I'm going too fast for my slides tonight. Are you guys relaxed? We can go back to that. So the spirit is the connection to divine. And when we're connected to divine, we can be in that flow. We can find our inspiration. And so the question is not why you would want optimal functioning. The question is, why wouldn't you? Why would we strive for mediocrity or an existence less than our pure potential? And why do we? And we do because of programming from childhood, which creates perspectives that tweak what we see and how we feel, and leads to acceptance, which is like, it's just the way it is. I can't do anything about it. If you can be anything you want, why wouldn't you want to function optimally? Why wouldn't you want to be your healthiest, most vibrant self, full of energy, brilliantly focused, and offering your best? The study of epigenetics changes the landscape. It tells us that we are consciously capable of regulating our genetic coding. Blows your mind a little, doesn't it? What we think and believe is primary. Now I'm going too slow. Okay, so the old model, prescription drugs, the doctor knows more than you, poor aging, bad health, we see this, right? This is evident in our culture and our societies. And we have poor mobility and agility. But the epigenetics has changed the landscape, and we do have a new model of being human. And that really is going to be about know thyself, heal thyself. You will know yourself better than anyone else, and you should. And you'll see graceful, healthy aging, mental stability as we age, and conscious programming. And there is a key right there in conscious programming. Awareness and conscious programming. Sorry, I'm not really good with the mic. So what does an optimally functioning human look like? The mind is sharp, clear, focused. It's quiet. It learns and remembers easily. The body's strong, flexible, balanced, articulate, mobile, quick recovery, highly functioning organs. All 5 senses function optimally. And the spirit, strong and flexible, connected to our highest self, the truest essence of our beings. If you are interested in this, see Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton. These guys are experts. They've been doing this forever, and they're so articulate. Right now, though, I want to go inside a little bit, and I want you to discover what optimal functioning means to you. So close your eyes and go inward and ask yourself, what does it feel like and look like to be optimally functioning? And then remove all your limitations. There are none. You are pure, unlimited potential, and you can do anything and be anything you want. There are no restrictions, there are no rules. Now ask yourself again, what would it look like if I were optimally functioning? My physical body, my mental body, the spiritual body. Take a moment to feel that. See yourself performing optimally. See how it positively affects those around you who you love. Envision the new you. Feel the gratitude for that optimal functioning. And slowly, when you're ready, open your eyes. So I want you to have a thought tonight when you go to bed, and tomorrow morning when you wake up. I want you to ask yourself, what does optimal performance mean to me? What does it feel like? What does it look like? Remember, a new thought equals a new you. Change programming. Change the perspective. And stop accepting status quo. Ask yourself questions all the time. Why am I doing this? How can I do it better? If each and every one of us asked this question to ourselves and allowed for even a fraction of our beings to become more optimally functioning, what would that mean for humanity and the planet as a whole? I see a more functioning, happy, healthy planet with happy, healthy humans. Thank you for your consideration. For the way we change the world is by changing ourselves. Let's all become a little better in whatever way we can. I say, go for optimal functioning. After all, anything else is less than your pure potential. Optimal functioning equals unlimited potential. My job this evening is just to plant the seed. If it resonates to any part of your being, you will nurture it. These are my businesses, Pranasara, Yoga for Vitality. I teach meditation and yoga. Harmonic Order, a new online store for products for healthy, happy humans. Look for me on Amazon. And the Healthy Human Habits is a new blog I'm getting started. Please find me and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. The New You is a workshop and course starting next week. If you're interested in more, go to bit.ly/BeNewYou. And thank you all for being present this evening. May your life be blessed with more love, more peace, and more joy. Thank you.
Toastmasters International is a volunteer organization that several of us are part of in town here. I'm part of 2 clubs. I've been a charter member of one club for 11 years at the Bechtel PCAP project, and just joined the Pueblo Toastmasters 795 Club in January. On the left was our president last year, Frank Fry. He's been given an award for the district director for doing such a great job with the club. And on the right is an amazing speaker that I heard at our district conference this past March. He got up on the stage with a limp, but he was a great speaker. These 2 ladies went to the international conference and met Mr. Smedley from 1924, who founded the Toastmasters Club, and that's him on the right side there. He just wanted to make this for everyday people. The Toastmasters International headquarters was in Southern California since 1924. They moved to Denver this year, and Daniel Rex is the CEO. He is such a relatable guy. I heard him at the conference in the spring also. He wants everybody to help improve themselves. And this is our division director, Victoria Cox, with the area directors, who each have several clubs they're in charge of. At the New Year's Eve party at the end of June, she gave every one of them trophies for doing a great job during the year. So they're so proud of their trophies. Okay, this is the 2 friends from my Bechtel Club. They went to the international conference and made friends with these people from, not sure, maybe India or the Middle East, somewhere there. They were all in Chicago, and they heard the International Speakers Contest. Whoever won the International Speech Contest was the World Public Speaker of the Year. They made lots of new friends. It's a great networking opportunity within your own club, and then also when you go to these conferences. So it's people you would not meet otherwise, you can meet through Toastmasters, because we're all just trying to improve ourselves that way. Pueblo Toastmasters 795 has been in existence since March 1st, 1950, continuously. So they celebrated, I think this was 3 years ago, with cake and everything, and those are several of the members in the club. And then a couple more of us joined this year. Toastmasters has lots of speech contests. We already talked about the International Speech Contest that goes to the International Conference every year. We also have Tall Tales contests, humorous contests, table topics contests, which are impromptu speeches for 1 to 2 minutes. And how can Toastmasters help you? This gives you lots of options, lots of ideas, build confidence like it has done for me. I used to not be able to talk in a room with 10 people for 5 minutes. My boss had to finish the topic for me. So when we chartered our club, he says, I'm paying for you to go. So I have some confidence now to get up here. Are you stuck for words? Like you get in an elevator. You know these people, but you never talk to them. Toastmasters can give you the confidence and the ideas of things to say to start a conversation, to get to know somebody that you haven't known before. It can help you in your listening skills and leadership skills as well. This year, Toastmasters had a lot of new ideas. We started a new program, Pathways, as opposed to the traditional where you just gave 10 speeches on whatever subject. Pathways focuses on what do you want to do with your career, your hobbies, what do you want to find out that you're good in life. So you pick one of those. And how can Toastmasters help your career? It can help you be direct and concise, as a basketball coach needs to do in the 30 seconds during his timeout. Or these panel speakers, that's kind of like the mayor's forums we've been having this year. They're given a topic and they have to talk for a few minutes. Elevator speeches is a great thing that Toastmasters can help with. We talked a little bit about that already, but Luke doesn't know what to say to his dad there. So you may have been in that scenario, but if you come to Toastmasters, you can learn how to speak off the cuff, impromptu, and give a speech to the boss. My type of elevator speech is in the lunchroom. Quite often, I'll run into the project manager in the lunchroom. We're warming up our lunch, or our plant manager, who's kind of a mentor to me, and I share an idea that I have about what the project can do or how we can improve my job or something. So that's a good idea there. Live meeting videos. At work, we meet in 2 locations for one meeting. We're connected through video teleconferencing. So we practice every meeting on speaking through the computer to the other side of the room, having eye contact with them as well as the people in our room. And this is becoming the way of the future. There's also examples in Toastmasters of volunteerism. I led a Financial Peace University class this year, which is a volunteer opportunity to help people budget their money and save up money. So Toastmasters helped me be able to do that, and other small groups. You can help kids. Junior Achievement was another opportunity of volunteering, where speaking can help you get up in front of kids and hold their attention. And here we're being role models for these kids and help them to not have the fears that adults have. They don't have to be afraid of public speaking in the first place. How has Toastmasters changed lives? Frank, our president, gained a lot of leadership skills from becoming our president. I don't know that he planned to be president when he did it, but he learned a lot through that. Troy Harris was a long-time club member in the Pueblo Toastmasters Club, and I believe that gave him a lot of skills with his nonprofit organizations. Pueblo Toastmasters meets 2nd and 4th Thursdays of every month, right here in this library, down in the first floor, 6:15 to 7:30. We would love to have you come. Thank you.
I'm here to talk about one of the many reasons why we should be proud that we are from the home of heroes. As we know, Pueblo is the home of heroes, and there's so many great stories of heroism. One of my favorites happens to be telephone operators during the 1921 flood that refused to be saved and continued to call downstream. And so many veterans, first responders, teachers, so many heroes. But we're here to talk about a specific group, the Congressional Medal of Honor recipients. Now, many people know what the Medal of Honor is. They know that it's a top military award. But the rarity of this award is what makes it so special, and why you receive it. You receive the Medal of Honor for going above and beyond the call of duty. There are many, many heroes and medals of valor, but the Medal of Honor is special. You see examples here of the Air Force Medal, the Army, and one. It was established by Lincoln during the Civil War. Now, before that, we didn't bestow medals. It was too European. But Lincoln wanted the soldiers to know that, hey, we really appreciate your valor on the field. So Lincoln created the medal for the Navy first, and then the Army. And it's such a rare medal that only 3,504 have ever been bestowed. Now, 43 million men and women have served in the service since the Civil War. 43 million. That's more people than live in all of this area combined. Yet, like I said, it's such a very small percentage that have received this, that it's less than the kids that go to the school here in Pueblo, Colorado. 3,504 are approximately 3 of these high schools. An amazing thing of this very, very small percent that have received this is that 4 of those gentlemen are from right here in Pueblo, Colorado. You have Jerry Murphy, Carl Sitter, Drew Dix, and this is Bill Crawford on the end. I'm going to talk briefly about each of these individuals. Again, these do not show the extent of heroism and veteran service to this community, but these 4 gentlemen are a prime example of what's special about Pueblo, Colorado. First, we'll talk about my boss, Drew Dix. So I'm going to tell most about him. I kid. Drew Dix received his during the Vietnam War. He's the only living recipient of the 4. Drew Dix was Special Forces, CIA, and a lot of these gentlemen of the 3,500, they don't always look like your stereotypical hero. Drew looks the part. Drew received his during the Tet Offensive. Those of you who don't know about Tet, Tet was basically New Year's, Christmas, and for the first years of the war, we didn't fight on Tet. But in 1968, 50 years ago, the North Vietnamese made a very calculated attack. It hit us all the way around. One place was called Chow Duck. That's where Drew came from. Drew had 4 guys with him. Everybody had left the town. They had abandoned the town, all the Americans. But there were still people at the barracks and the hospital. Drew had 1 gentleman, Jim Monroe, and 2 South Vietnamese SEALs against 2,000 North Vietnamese. During his action, Drew Dix will save 14 civilians and capture 24 enemy soldiers. Our second recipient was actually the second to receive the medal. This is Carl Sitter. He received his during the Korean War, during the Battle of the Chosin Reservoir. Those of you that never heard about the Battle of the Chosin Reservoir, it was cold. We had pushed all the way up to the Chinese border, and then China entered the war, and they caught us. It was 38 below zero. There were stories when the men would take off their boots, their toes would come off with them. You'll notice these guys are also, we made our push during the summer. And this hit in November. So they were wearing their summer uniforms without coats or anything to protect them from the elements. Carl Sitter, he showed heroism above and beyond the call of duty, rescuing 4 other individuals and putting himself at risk numerous times to save others. This is a picture of him receiving the medal with another gentleman, and you see they're wearing the Marine medal there. The next gentleman that we're about to show is Jerry Murphy. Raymond Gerald Murphy. We've all driven past the road. Jerry Murphy also received his during the Korean War. Jerry Murphy, though, you think that these guys probably killed a lot of people. I mean, they had to take a lot of lives, unfortunately. But he actually had to drop his weapons. He was a lieutenant, and he kept running up the hill, and the weapons bared him down too much. So he saved Marine after Marine coming down. This is my favorite story, though. This is in Albuquerque, where he retired. He was a volunteer at the VA hospital that is now named for him. When Jerry Murphy was buried, he did not want to be buried in his Marine uniform and his Medal of Honor. He requested to be buried in his volunteer vest in the VA hospital where he volunteered for years. He also was the one, when he received his medal, Eisenhower said the famous quote, "What is it in the water there, Pueblo, that all you guys turn out to be heroes?" This is when we only have 3 recipients years before Drew will receive his medal. Plus, what a great picture of the res, right? I found this, I said, I gotta use this. And my favorite, don't tell Drew I said that, is Bill Crawford. Bill Crawford was the first of our recipients in World War II. Bill Crawford was a young man, hit the beaches of Italy, and pinned down by heavy Nazi machine gun fire. He's losing guys left and right. They can't move at all. Private Bill Crawford, just with that rifle and those grenades, like the statue outside of the convention center, they're pinned down. He runs up the hill, takes out the first Nazi machine gun, goes over to the next, takes that out, goes over the berm to the third, and these Nazis go running. This crazy man from Pueblo's after him, and they take off. He jumps on the machine gun, takes them out as they run into the forest. While he's up at the top of the hill, he's rendering aid, and he's captured and put into a concentration camp. In that concentration camp is one of my favorite stories about Bill. Bill was a Golden Gloves boxer here in Pueblo, and he was being picked on by a Nazi guard. And he said, "Boy, if I had some gloves, I'd show you." Well, they orchestrated a fight, and Bill beat the tar out of this Nazi, and they left him alone the rest of his time while he was captured. He comes back, does a career in the Army, and goes and gets a job as a janitor at the Air Force Academy. But no one knows he's a janitor. In the late 80s, late 70s, a cadet's doing a report and finds out William J. Crawford, Pueblo, Colorado. They go to find out that he never received his medal from a president because he was in a concentration camp. So at the 1984 Air Force commencement speech, they bring Bill Crawford up. Sorry, I got a little choked up. 40 years after his action, and finally hang his medal around his neck. Once again, this is just a little appreciation from just 4 guys, one section of our community that have sacrificed so much. And I want to thank any veteran or anybody that's been a first responder here for what you do. Thank you.
Give me love, give me love, give me peace on earth. My name is Merle Cooper, or Del Renee. I'm a mechanical engineer, a professor of sustainability and engineering, a business consultant, and an artist. My intent tonight is to make a case for global peace with solutions based on science and ancient wisdom. We live in an electromagnetic universe. We can see the shapes of these fields in a magnet, our planet Earth, and our own bodies are all similar. For us, the heart is at the center. Scientists are finding the heart is so immensely powerful. As a professor, I love hands-on learning. So today I have brought a flow ring with me to demonstrate and show what this toroidal or torus field looks like. And we can visualize it more easily. Plus, it's an extremely, extremely fun toy. So find me after to check it out. The heart field is actually 5,000 times stronger. That's right, 5,000 times stronger than the brain's, and can be measured from several feet away. This is from peer-reviewed research from the Heart Math Institute. And we can visualize 2 fields interacting right here. When we are in harmony, the electromagnetic energy flows more freely from person to person. From stunt skydiving to family dinners, being in resonance is the key to happiness and success, both physically and emotionally. And the beautiful thing is when we start creating resonance and harmony at our core, it ripples out. When we have strong personal coherence, meaning the heart is literally beating in tune with our brains and bodies, we can create individual, group, and finally global coherence. And the beautiful thing is that the Global Coherence Initiative is working with the Heart Math Institute to create this. Never doubt that a group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead. What if our consciousness was not just contained within our bodies? What if there was a connection between all of us that modern science has only begun to glimpse? Led by John Hagelin, a renowned quantum physicist, a study in Washington, D.C. predicted 4,000 meditators could lower the crime rate by 20% based on previous studies in the summer of 1993. The police were extremely doubtful, but then became a supporter when the crime rate dropped by 23.3%. Normally it increases, and the probability of this is 2 in a billion. So this raises the question, what if we were able to embrace that inner peacemaker within, that inner child, and honor the teaching of these great people? I can relate to this sculpture when my husband and I are having an argument. We come back to love, and we let go of righteousness and choose what is natural. This is why meditation has been starting to be studied by renowned scientists. That's what science is. As an engineer, and scientists, we should be continuing to question what's next on the frontier. So I invite you all to find meditations on YouTube, find meditation classes, and invite you to start to see the wholeness within. I'm really encouraged by the new frontiers being bridged with guided meditations with veterans to be able to heal PTSD. And it's really beautiful to consider the possibility that by ending the wars within, we can end the wars outside of us. This now brings up the fact that we live in a holographic universe. Look up the Resonance Academy and Dr. Nassim Harriman to get more in depth. But essentially, truly, and scientifically, everything is contained within itself, and everything is one. Now next, we'll look at a mathematical equation that's found in nature. Next is coming up the Mandelbrot set. The font messed up a little bit there with the conversion, but it says all of everything is one, and one is everything. And if you continue to zoom in on this function, you continue to see the same thing. And this is a metaphor for our consciousness, for how we are all connected. And if we could realize that, what could shift on this world? I love this example of we have been in a volatile consciousness. So it's no surprise that we've been settling for less than 20% efficiency with the combustion engines. As we shift towards renewable energy, and maybe even further to zero-point energy, our consciousness will start to be a match for that. We mirror our environment around us. This brings me to the 3 pillars of sustainability, which I love engaging with my students at CSU Pueblo about. There is no one solution, but we find them in the center, where people, planet, and profit, or prosperity, come together into unity. And we find those solutions through community and conscious conversation. I'd like to present you to the wonderful sustainability minor that the engineering department actually houses. And this is a program that students can do, as well as taking lead classes within the civil engineering department and learning about sustainable buildings. That's a picture from a waste audit, and these are the students with some produce I brought for prizes for a pop quiz. And that brings me to the obvious fact that politicians talk about, whether they believe it or not, that youth are our future. I still feel like I'm 15-year-old in my heart anyway, despite I'm almost 30 years old. But as I actually prepare with my husband to bring a new child into this world, I've been thinking of this more and more. How can we shift our consciousness to represent sacred economics? A gift economy represents a shift from consumption to contribution, transaction to trust, scarcity to abundance, and isolation to community. Definitely check out Charles Eisenstein and his 2 amazing books where he presents real solutions. Last, I'd like to present you to another toy I have here, which is actually an electromagnetic field resonator with copper wire and a neodymium magnet, which I can show you after the event is over. And it mirrors exactly Nikola Tesla's creations. I live down the street from where Nikola Tesla had his lab in Colorado Springs, and it's amazing to consider maybe we can even go beyond renewable energy if we open up our consciousness. So please, take a deep breath and truly imagine a world based on abundance that starts from within, where we create solutions not from a stressed out place of fight or flight, or constantly demonizing each other and all these talking heads, where we create a world of peace from peace within. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. I'm Sierra Bassett, and I'm with CareMatch America, and this cute little guy is Guy Hart. He's our mascot here at CareMatch America. What we are, we'll start right here in Pueblo. We focus on seniors and families. I'm going to share with you a little bit about our company and about a great upcoming event that you won't want to miss. CareMatch was started by this lady. Her name is Carol Sharito. When Carol was trying to find a senior living community for her mom and her mom's little dog, she became frustrated with the process that she decided to start her own company to make searching for senior living communities even easier. So, Carol started the company CareMatch America. No, we're not a dating site for seniors. It is designed to be an online concierge search and match company, kind of like Hotels.com, but for seniors and their families to find a place for them to have care. It's not a referral company. We do not get paid to help people. We are not a place for mom. And Carol decided to write a book about her experiences. It uses to help others plan their own journey, whether you're already at the age that needs community living or for your kids, so that they know what you want. It's a great conversation that everyone should have. You can find it on Amazon. We also have financial advisors. We train them to talk to the community and people as they're planning their estate, to how to pay for it and as well as how to plan for it, so that sometimes kids are stuck with their family's medical expenses because the parents just can't afford it. That's what these guys are here and trained for, all over the country. We have found people are paying more and more for a living, whether it's home health or in care, than they should be, because they aren't getting advice they need up front. Additionally, the referral companies out there are using seniors to make big bucks for themselves and placing seniors in the only companies willing to pay. That's why we are known as a company with a heart. Our services and our ideas come from the heart in order to help seniors and their families become better educated, better equipped, and empowered to make the sound choices for their seniors as they grow older. As a CareMatch America is building all sorts of new ideas in the upcoming months, we feel it takes a team and a whole community of people to make an impact. It takes forward-thinking companies to do and try things that haven't been done before. That's the mission of CareMatch America, changing the way it has always been done. With that, speaking of doing things differently, let me share with you what we are bringing to Pueblo. In the world of senior expos, we want to share with you a new and unique approach to an old idea. Ours is even more than an expo. It's a whole event just for seniors. We have created an entire day dedicated to seniors. We first introduced this event last year in LA with an outstanding attendance and turnout. It's fun, entertaining, it was a hit. Carol wanted to bring it to Pueblo, her hometown, where all this has started, as a kickoff for the events. She wanted to expose her own city to the uniqueness of the event and celebrate seniors. It'll be at the Egg Palace in the State Fairgrounds on November 17th. That's a Saturday. That's when everybody has no excuse not to bring their parents out, because none of us are working. It's okay to stop your life for 5 seconds and spend time with your grandpa. So, you're still also looking for vendors for those. At CareMatch, we feel that decisions for seniors should be made as a whole family, because sometimes your parents can't do it, and it's also up to the grandkids. So that, again, why we are holding our expo on November 17th. It's not going to interfere with your work. It may interfere with your Candy Crush or your Facebook, but it will be okay to spend time with your seniors and come enjoy this event. CareMatch is about making aging a bit more fun. We love to see seniors smile and have a great time. So we are adding things to do that will do just that, with Love of Senior Day expos going across the country. From here, we go to Orlando, Key West, St. Louis, and beyond. Education is a key to everything. CareMatch is about educating seniors and their families on what is available to them as they age. Sometimes we tend to make things harder than it is. So if we can help show an easier way to make things work, then that is what it is all about. We, however, are not putting down their Candy Crush. The other reason we do an expo like this is for businesses who love seniors, who's their goal to take care of seniors, to be able to prove it. We want to be a partner with other businesses who share the same visions we do, helping our seniors and their families in any way possible, making a potentially difficult time easier. This is my favorite picture, by the way. There is still time to join us and be a vendor for this amazing day to show our love to seniors. After the show, feel free to ask me more, and I probably have vendor forms in my car. I can sign you up right now. But wait, there's more for me to tell you. What other things we are going to be planning. We are getting some of the local assisted living communities to bring their shuttles over, take people to and from the event. What a fun way to see some of Pueblo's finest senior living communities, such as the Villa, with a busload of your friends. We're hoping by doing that the seniors will actually explore this opportunity, because who really wants to go with their bossy daughter who's just going to tell them everything and what to do? I know that's probably what will happen to me. This unique event will have activities for you to participate in too. We can listen to speakers, talk about topics that we are asked about seniors, what they want to hear about, from doctors to fitness programs and much more. We'll have silver sneakers out there from the YMCA, hopefully having classes. Just go ahead and mark your calendar on November 17th, or just go ahead and pull your phones out, mark it on there, save $1 maybe 2. Bring your grandma, bring your grandpa, bring your mom, bring your dad for a day full of fun. We're starting at 9 a.m. and we go all day. With events happening all day, including local elected officials. Thank you very much.
Hi, how is everyone doing tonight? My name is Aaron Ramirez, and I'm new to Colorado. I'm from Texas, but don't hold that against me, please. And I'll be presenting on running. Run, runner! Guess what? If you've ever run, or not even run, but just jog, you're a runner in my book, okay? So I'm going to go over my life, sort of. This is, I apologize to my fellow presenters because this is kind of a selfish presentation and a biography. So, Pecha Kucha, I could not help but think of Pikachu, so I just included that. And then this is me at about 250, I guess. I'm 36 years old, and I'm now 192. So that was probably 4, 5, 6 years ago, I guess. And you can see in my hand, I have some candy, which was probably my child's lollipop. Let's just go with that. Okay. But I wasn't feeling so good. You could see in my face that maybe I wasn't so happy. But at any rate, 20 seconds is longer than I thought it was going to be. So let's wait for this next slide, shall we? All right. So how did I get that fat? And let's use the F word, okay? It was delicious food like burgers, pizza, enchiladas, Cokes. My family had a Mexican restaurant in Tyler, and so from a young age, I would go to the restaurant after school called Gilbert Del Charles, shout out. So I made it to an unhappy Pikachu. This is a very humiliating picture of me at around, which it's a little slimming because it projected onto the screen, so that's nice. But that's me at like 270, 275. I was happy in life, I guess, but deep down, I didn't feel good. I was depressed, and you can see I have a great family. I have Gibson and Sophia and Sadie. I have my beautiful wife Ashley. And so I was out there doing stuff. We were having fun. But I had some unhealthy habits, like maybe drinking a bunch of beer. And you can see Gibson kind of learning from Dad. So that's not too good. And so all this while, I wasn't working out. And then I decided that I needed to change. So I started off by cooking for the family. So I would do a protein and 2 vegetables and maybe like a quinoa or a whole grain type grain if I'm going to do that. And I tried to get my calorie count down to under 2,000 calories if I could. So that was like my first step. The next step was to start running. I hated running. It was horrible at first, but there's this thing called Couch to 5K. And you start working out for 30 minutes. Your first week starts with walking 2 minutes, and then, running for like 90 seconds, 60 seconds, and then you walk the rest of the time. You alternate. Google it, you can find all kinds of different plans. An important thing if you start running is to stretch. You can see these people stretching out their quads and their hamstrings. If you want to strengthen your core, planking is really good. One stretch that I do is a dynamic stretch where you're moving your legs back and forth like this. And doing this before you run is really beneficial, okay? Another good thing to think about is your foot strike. So foot strike is important. When people are running, you think of, if you fall on your heel, this is pushing back, right? So that's impeding your forward progress. If you fall on your front, you can fall forward, okay? So there will be pain involved. As you can see, Paul Atreides here is experiencing the gum jabar, but that's not as bad as knee pain. And if you don't stretch before you run, you might get runner's knee, which is really painful and it takes a month or so to recover. So to help with that pain, maybe you can listen to some music. I found that this type of headphone is stays in my ear. If you use an earbud, or if you use a super big earbud, pops out. Sweat. If you have a ear covering headphones, not working at all. So what do I listen to? I listen to Tame Impala. This is the biographical part that's very self-indulgent. So right? So Tame Impala is an indie rock band, super psychedelic. Rock on Stroke, a great techno DJ, and then some classical music. So all of these give you different options when you're running and starting off, right? So also podcasts are a great option. We have Horatio Sands, the Hooray Show. We have Stuart Dan and Elliott and Judge John Hodgman from the Flophouse. And you have Joe Rogan and Henry Rollins. These are all inspirational figures that will help you think about something else besides the pain that you're experiencing while you're running. Another inspiring thing is fiction, right? So we have Chariots of Fire, Running Man, Logan's Run, Run, Runner. So these are mantras that you can express in your brain when you are tired and you don't have the will to continue in these situations. We can think about actual people or events that were already buried in the Copper Canyon. These people run for hundreds of miles in sandals, right? If they can do it, I can complete a 5K, right? You can do it. Turkey, we can think about Major Winters running past and taking out the Nazis. Eventually, what I did was stop listening to music because it turned into more a meditative type activity. So when I transitioned from road running, I mixed in a little trail running. So that just changes, you have to stabilize more, it's a better workout. You get out of nature. This is my first 5K after the Couch to 5K program, which took about 2 months, I guess. So this is me, still fat, but pretty happy, right? I accomplished something. This is the before picture, and that's the after. This is the fresh 5K in Tyler, Texas. Another thing that I did to continue to lose weight was switch to the keto diet. So this is the traditional food pyramid, tons of carbohydrates, sugar, dairy, fat at the top. That's the traditional one. Instead, we do a lot of fat at the bottom, we do protein, and then I get most of my carbohydrates from leafy greens and nuts. Please talk to me about it or Google it. This is me running a 15K, my second 15K. So still a little thick, but feeling good, right? So in my running experience, it's been 3 years. I've done 15Ks, 10K, 12K, lots of 5Ks, and this has allowed me to slim down for my wedding. It's allowed me to focus on my family, and also it's very important to mention that my family, my wife especially, has allowed me the opportunity to go out and run. So it's fine. So thank you very much for your time.
Hi everyone. Tonight I'd like to share with you a little of my history as an artist and what's important to me now. Here you see I grew up in Southern California, influenced by the ocean and Mission San Luis Rey with 6-foot thick adobe walls. In my 20s, I was a self-taught jeweler doing cloisonné in silver and gold. In college, my art became about the disconnect because of our loss of connection to nature. The sculpture is about closing off the seat of our consciousness, going from an open-top Greek temples to the closing oculus of the Pantheon. And then in grad school, this piece right here was about wanting to build with the building for not having land, and about activism to save the land. I have a theory that we each have aptitudes, but that what I call the design mind is in many ways not serving us very well, as we use up natural resources for things that here look like nature, but destroy it. And then you see a sea of plastic down here in Asia. The ideal would be prevention, and the worst is waste. My first big design shift was a xeriscape garden in front of my home. You see a before picture, and then I let my Kentucky bluegrass lawn die, and the after shots show my xeriscape garden with a tiny ecosystem that supports wildlife and has been on the garden tour in public. Take note of the tiny geometry. In 2003, I lost both of my parents within 10 weeks, so I went to Oregon for a workshop in something called cob, which is a natural building material seen in hundreds of years old buildings in the United Kingdom. Natural building uses local materials as much as possible. Here I'm holding a window to see where the view will be. My first project here was a cob wall in front of my home using moss rock with a BLM permitted site for stone and clay from our college pottery. One shovel at a time, I did it 99% solo, and at about 90 pounds per square foot, it weighs 11 tons. The tiny twig is now the top of tree. The next project was a chicken coop using coils of cob built around vertical sticks with half straw bales inside on the north. Before roofing, the building cost $112, and this is the entire amount of trash generated in the building of this. My friends up here are stomping cob, making the material that we're building. A great video from the Rawlings Library here called Alone in the Wilderness taught me so much about using hand tools. Here I leveled the timber using traditional methods. And I bought wonderful antique tools on eBay. Now I own a cordless drill and sawzall, but that's it. These drawings are for a project I'm finishing now on 35 rural acres in Beulah, which is an agricultural building ATV shed. I designed 12 buildings for various sites before deciding on this particular site. The large windows are for solar, passive solar gain, and radiant heat. The two-sided wraparound porches for cooling in the summer. All excavation and backfill I did by hand with a rubble trench frame wood right foundation. My neighbor traded me all the stone I could carry for a bag of wildland grass seed, and Charles McGrady's book on stone taught me how to build a pit. Here I redesigned a corner pier with a flat side to hold back the soil. I did all the masonry using local stone and recycled sidewalk called Urbanite, which you see on the inside of the building there. Here I'm pushing the cob into the former layer in order to make one massive cohesive wall. Here you see the, I did fresco on the south side in order to maximize the heat of the sun. And after, this is the north side. But this is me in August, after the building was done. After I did the fresco, I wondered for a minute if I was a little crazy for the designs of my building. But then I ran across a folder of images I took in Barcelona in 2016 of Gaudi's famous home and the frescoes on apartments in the Gothic district, as well as cave paintings in northern Spain. And I decided I was in good company. All clay for the building is from the site. You see me digging it from a pit next to it. It's also a retreat from nature instead of dominating it. This frog buried himself in the sand and watched my best friend stomp cob all day last summer. And this spring, this bird made their nest on the rafters of the porch and raised her fledglings, and we could actually touch them if we wanted to. There's no power on site, and I use materials until they have no use. But in a kind of poetic homage, my friend Senga asked me for an old tart for her friend to make art. That fall, I saw it on her friend David Hammond's conceptual painting in the White Cube Gallery in London, from my absolute end of use to high art. Beyonto Evans brought cob to the United States. His wisdom says fun is important. If your process is beautiful and your material simple, you will end up with a beautiful result. Indigenous people are our most valuable teachers for sustainable living. The money we spend approximates the negative impact on the environment, and just started will learn by our mistakes. I've worked on my building for 9 summers, 40 or 50 days each summer. But if 3 people did it, would take about 5 months and cost us $50,000, mostly for the roof. It will likely stand for hundreds of years, have very little impact on its surroundings, and give people making it a chance to learn and have a lot of fun. Here are a couple of other community projects of mine: the Mountain Park Environmental Center Fire Room in Beulah with unglazed tiles of flora and fauna that were carved by me and 5 other potters. I like that the toddlers can touch them. And then below is the mural that I did on the Great Divide during the Indian trip into town. I teach art at CSU Pueblo, and this coming spring I'll teach a class in natural building, but I also teach painting and graphic design, so I do work in those areas as well. 2 of these images are from when I contracted the roof on the building, which we made with timbers from the Black Forest fire. And then at the bottom, that's the Antilles. And then lastly, here are some of my graphic commissions. 2 logos for farms near Cortez, Colorado, designed like vintage brick plates. Also done in black and white, as all logos should function in one color. And lastly, 2 of 6 posters that I did for Mines and the Land Conservancy's annual Beer Fest.